The Outer Worlds is a spectacular example of what storytelling and gameplay should be in games in 2019. I'm going to give you 5 tips that I've learned from playing through the game that may help you if you're a newbie or you just want to have an idea of what you're getting into or just maybe some direction. Again, if you're the kind of person that doesn't like to have any form of spoiler of any kind, I'm not going to talk about the story, but more about the concepts of the game mechanics. So if that's a problem for you, probably better to do this after you get done with the first playthrough. But otherwise, let's get started. The first tip is that you're going to be doing about level 30-ish by the end of the game. So if you're getting 10 perk points or 10 skill points for each level, you've got roughly 300 points to put into different skills. So remember, when you get to level 50, right, if you level all of your stuff up to level 50, you get 3 for 1 on all the skill points. But after that, it's 1 for 1. So if you're the kind of person who wants to do a full dialogue build, this is one of those where I would suggest picking, I think, one of them. So get all of your dialogue to about 50. And then choose. Do you want to persuade? Do you want to intimidate? Do you want to lie? Because those all will actually overlap each other in some parts of the game. So consider doing one of those skills as an emphasis if you're going to go that way. But try to plan out your build before you start, so that way you're not just in the end game like, oh crap. The second tip is focusing on companions that make up for the bad skills. So as we said before, you want to plan out your individual skills, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to miss out on stuff. If you need engineering, Pravarti is a very great example of somebody who has a great amount of engineering skill that when she's on your team will make up the difference. So look at your different companions and what their skills and their builds are and see if that makes a difference. There is a perk you can get that will allow you to get twice the skill gain from gear, as well as I think it's the companions, but don't quote me on that. But you just have to kind of plan that out. Third tip, don't stash bits. So you're going to have a lot of money near the end of the game, or as you're kind of just grinding out enemies. You're going to get their stuff and resell it. So you can get, if you're really interested in that, there's no point. At the end of the game, it's not like you get to keep playing, so it doesn't really matter. The best thing you can do is to use all of your bits to improve your gear. So I would wait until you get to about the 3rd level of gear. So in this case, Ultra or Gold. It depends on what kind of weapons you're looking at there. But then start blasting all of your money into tinkering and getting your weapon of choice as high as possible. And I would recommend just doing the one. Science weapons, from what I've been seeing, have the highest potential for the greatest damage because you can cap the amount of money that it takes to be able to tinker with them or modify them. So that's something to consider. If you need money, the 4th tip is just max lockpicking. So you don't have to get it to go like 100. There's never been a time in the game where I've had to use 100, but 85 is pretty much where it caps out at. Any of the times where it's like 95 or 100, it's because there's a key card laying around or some other method of unlocking the device. But if you get to 85, so that could be your skill set. So maybe you have plus stealth skill equipment, or you have a companion that does it for you, right? Get to around 85, because then you can unlock pretty much anything. And there's tons of opportunity for cash, because you can get a bunch of equipment, meds, money, and it pays for itself real fast. So if you're the kind of person that wants to do a trap load of tinkering or modifying, but you're rolling money, lockpicking's your magic. And number 5, I want you guys to focus on your goal. Are you going to be a two-hander, stupid derpers who's going to run in there and just be a jerk to everybody? Or are you going to try to focus 100% on dialogue and avoiding combat? Are you going to try to do a lot with companions, or do you want to be solo? So those are things that I think you really need to consider, because that will form the basis for how you do your skills, and that's how you approach the game. And that's a great kind of way of getting started, because I know a lot of times when you get started in these games, you kind of just start picking a little bit here and there, and then you kind of have an average character at the end. So plan out what you want to do and focus on your goal. Again, remember, this game is made for multiple playthroughs, so that's something you should consider. And with that, guys, again, I was hoping that this would be a video that would help you to kind of get an idea of how to focus your character. Again, the intention is I just want to make sure that you have a fun time and that the information I'm giving you is relevant. So if it was relevant, why don't you just put down in there, Pravarti's hot, yo, in the comments below if you were listening this far. And yeah, keep stewing for some more Outer Worlds. Elsewhere.